The news is officially out, and it has absolutely rocked the motocross world. Jason Anderson and Monster Energy Kawasaki are going their separate ways, bringing his time with the team to a close. This is a huge deal. We're talking about a former 450 Supercross champion, one of the biggest names in the sport, suddenly without a ride for the fast-approaching 2026 season. The silly season musical chairs are in full swing, and the number one question on everyone's mind is, where is El Hombre going to land? The rumor mill is on fire, connecting him to multiple teams. So, what's actually happening behind the scenes? We're going to break down the confirmed facts, the wild rumors, and the most likely landing spots for Jason Anderson. We'll look at the teams in the running and figure out what this huge shift means for his career and his mission to get back to championship form. It is a done deal. Jason Anderson will not be back on a green machine in 2026. The team confirmed that Anderson is sitting out the rest of the Super Motocross season to get his health right, effectively closing the book on his time with Kawasaki. But this isn't just another rider swap. This is a major shakeup in the paddock. A proven champion is now a free agent, and you better believe the race to get his signature is on. But there's more to this story than just contracts. It's about health, recovery, and that relentless fire to compete at the very top. Number 1. The confirmed news. Health, recovery, and the official split. Before we get into the gossip, let's lock down what we know for sure. What really kicked this all off was Anderson's ongoing battle with his health during the 2025 season. In an official statement, Kawasaki announced that Anderson, with full support from his family and the team, would sit out the rest of the year to deal with these health issues. This came after a tough season where Anderson, despite showing those classic flashes of speed, just couldn't find his groove and struggled with consistency. He did, however, grab 3 podium finishes in the first 5 rounds of Supercross, which is pretty impressive all things considered. Anderson gave us more insight himself in a pretty honest social media post. He said, "Super bummed on the year. I have been having a hard time on the physical side. Not being able to push after lap 2 every weekend is frustrating. Anytime I want to try and train more, I keep getting sick and going backwards with my fitness." He talked about how tough it's been physically and mentally, but also made sure to thank his Kawasaki team for sticking by him. The most important part, he made it crystal clear this isn't him hanging it up. He finished his post by saying, "Right now, I am going to relax and get my body healthy for more racing in the future." This confirms he's planning a comeback, making his next move one of the hottest stories of the year. The mutual decision to prioritize his health marks a respectful end to a partnership that saw him finish second overall in the 2022 Supercross Championship and rack up an incredible 7 main event wins during that season. Number 2. The why behind the split. Reading between the lines. While the official story is all about Anderson's health, you can't ignore what's happening in the background with the 2026 silly season. The pits are always buzzing, and there's almost always more to the story. For months, the loudest rumor has been that Monster Energy Kawasaki has been looking to sign a new star rider to team up with Jorge Prado, and pretty much everyone believes that rider is Chase Sexton. Now, nothing's been signed or announced, but the Sexton to Kawasaki rumor just won't die. Multiple insiders talk about it like it's a sure thing. If Kawasaki is really bringing in a huge talent like Sexton, another former champ, then a seat had to open up. Since Jorge Prado is locked into a multi-year deal, Anderson was the logical odd man out. With his contract up at the end of 2025, this doesn't take away from Anderson's very real health struggles, but it adds some critical context. It seems like the timing just worked out for everyone. Anderson gets the time he needs to get back to 100%, and Kawasaki gets to rebuild its 450 program for the future. Kawasaki can chase its target, and Anderson is free to get healthy and start fresh with a new team, with no strings attached. Number 3. The contenders. Where could El Hombre land in 2026? With Jason Anderson officially on the open market, the speculation begins. Where's he gonna go? A few teams keep popping up in conversation, and each one has its pros and cons. Option A, HEP. Suzuki, the team everyone seems to be talking about, is Progressive Insurance, X-Star Suzuki. This move makes a ton of sense. Ken Roshan is expected to be back, and they'll need another top-tier rider. The thought of an Anderson and Rochen duo is enough to get any fan excited to veteran champs with massive talent. The biggest knock against this move has always been the Suzuki RMZ 450, which hasn't had a major update in years. But Ken Rochen has pretty much blown that argument out of the water. He's proven that with the right rider and a dedicated team like HEP developing it, that bike can absolutely win races and fight for podium. For Anderson, this could be a great situation. The team has shown it can build a winning program around a star, and the environment might be a little more relaxed than a full factory effort, which could be perfect for him to get his mojo back. Some insiders suggest this move is a real possibility and that talks might already be happening. Option B. Club Mex Yamaha. Another really interesting option is Club Mex Yamaha. A lot of people see this as a perfect match between the rider and the team's vibe. CLU BMX is a program on the rise, famous for its top-notch training facility and a close, supportive atmosphere. Anderson has even trained there before when the Supercross series was on the East Coast, so there's already a relationship there. On the performance side, the Yamaha YZ450F is a proven, championship-winning motorcycle. At Club Mex, Anderson would get a ride that, while not full factory, is about as close as you can get. With Daniel Blair, someone Anderson knows well, in a management role, the team structure is solid. For a rider like Anderson who rides his best when he's comfortable and having fun, the but supportive world of Club Mex could be the perfect place to light a fire under his career. He'd be the clear number one 450 guy, with the whole team focused on his success. Option C. The dark horses, Ducati and Triumph, with two new factories jumping into the 450 class in 2026. You have to at least consider them. First up, Ducati. The iconic Italian brand is making a serious push, and signing a former champ like Anderson would be a huge power move. But the latest chatter suggests Ducati has already lined up its riders, with Justin Barcia and Dylan Ferrandis as the names tied to those new red bikes. So, that door seems to be closing. Then you have Factory Triumph. The British brand is stepping up, and Anderson's experience would be a massive asset for a new team. At one point, this seemed to make a lot of sense, but the rumors have cooled off. It looks like Triumph is building its program around other riders. You can never say never in silly season, but right now, both of these new factory teams feel like a long shot for Elham. Number 4. Can a healthy Anderson return to championship form? This is the million-dollar question behind all the team talk. Can a healthy Jason Anderson get back to the absolute top? His legacy is already cemented. He's a 450 Supercross champ, a winner in both Supercross and motocross, and known as one of the toughest and most fiery guys on the track. Even in a 2025 season wrecked by health problems, he still landed on the podium 3 times in Supercross, proving the speed and talent are still there. The problem wasn't his speed, it was his stamina, which he directly linked to his health issues. He talked about how frustrating it was to fall off the pace after just a couple of laps, a sure sign that his body was the issue, not his skill or the bike. Sometimes, a fresh start is exactly what a veteran rider needs. A new team, a new bike, and a new environment can be a mental reset. That's just as vital as physical recovery. Whether he ends up on a Suzuki working with a winner like Rochen, or moves to a hungry, supportive team like Club Mex, a new challenge could be just the ticket. If he uses this time off to truly get his body right, there is every reason to believe he can be a threat for race wins and a championship contender again. When he's healthy, his track record speaks for itself. Alright, so the stage is set for one of the biggest stories of the 2026 silly season. Jason Anderson is a champion without a team, but he is definitely not without options. The frontrunners seem to be HEP Suzuki for a potential blockbuster team-up with Ken Rochen, and Club Mex Yamaha, which offers a killer bike and a great environment. Both are strong cases for where El Hombre could land and get back to his winning ways. His split with Kawasaki is the end of one chapter, but it's also the start of an exciting new one for one of America's best riders. But what do you guys think? Where will El Hombre sign for 2026? Will he be on a yellow bike, a blue one, or will a dark horse team swoop in at the last minute? Drop your predictions in the comments below. I read all of them, and I want to hear your theories. And if you want to keep up with all the latest news and rumors as silly season heats up, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and give this video a like. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.